Okay, how to pick a brandable domain name. That's better. Well, it's easy, but it's not. They're getting harder to find. A good website to find brandable domain names, if you're looking for one, if you're a business, whatever, yeah, is a website called Brand Bucket, BRAND, bucket as in bucket, BUCKET, so BUCKET.com, brandbucket.com. There's a few other places, but it's not a bad place. All you do is you click on brandbucket.com and you see, you scroll down, or you pick up, say you're a tech business or whatever, yeah, you find a tech, click on the tech bit and you'll see brandable domains. Or you can click on 5letter.coms, which is like just 5 letters, which is nice and short and neat and brandable. But they're getting expensive. People buy them for about 15 quid, and they get them valued, and Brand Bucket can sell them for about £2,000. So so people have actually gone through all the 4 letters, virtually all the 4letter.coms have been sold, which means if you buy a 4letter.com, doesn't matter if it's just consonants, either like 4 consonants or whatever, or consonants and vowels, you will be buying from an investor, which means you will be paying a lot more than the 15 quid they cost to buy. 5letter.coms are going the same way. A lot of them are sold now. But you can browse. But with Brand Bucket, you get an option. Say you're an investor and you buy them for £15. You can get them submitted to Brand Bucket, and Brand Bucket give you a valuation, and but they'll actually decide whether they approve your brandable on their website for sale. But this is where they're listed, where people can actually view to buy them from investors. So okay, you're going to pay a lot of money. The investor is going to make quite a few thousand% interest on what their investment. I don't know what it is. If it's like 15 quid, 150 quid is 1,000%, isn't it? Is it about that, isn't it? So 1,500 quid is 10,000%. So they're going to make it. I might be wrong. I'm sure it's just 10 times the figure. But you get the idea that the investor is going to make quite a few thousand% on their investment of 15 quid when they sell it to someone that pays £2,000. But a business will actually see the potential in that brand and get a nice logo sorted out with a brand, with a 5letter.com, which is nice, which is global. And a business person that knows what they're talking about will actually know that they can make money from that brand as their brand. If you're in the UK, a 5letter.com, as long as the second letter is an I, you can get the name of your brand as the number plate on your vehicle, if it's available. But again, you've got to have the brandable.com, the 5letter.com has got to be available, preferably for about 15 quid if you get it from somewhere like GoDaddy.com that advertise on the TV a lot, or from an investor if you pay about a couple of grand. But you're going to be looking to pay about a couple of grand now for a good .com. This is quite interesting because a car has parked behind me. So I'm doing this vlog with a car parked behind me looking at me now. Must be thinking, what a stupid idiot I really am. Yes, Rodney. Yes, Delboy. What a 42 carat plonker you really are. From the series. Okay, the car's gone. So back to that. It's just that by buying a brandable, you've got to optimize the brand into the category of the industry sector or the services sector that you want your brand to appear in. To get the brandable, you go into Brand Bucket and find the brand, or you're going to pay a couple of grand, 2 or 3 grand, sterling for that sort of brand, a decent brand, a 5-letter brand in .com. But you'll have the .com address, which is what you want, which is where the investors got the brandable. They've picked the .com, and Brand Bucket make it effectively a brand with a nice fancy logo that the investor pays about 100 quid for. So they pay 15 quid plus 100 quid, but they sell it for about 2 grand plus a bit less a bit of commission. And the business pays for 2 or 3 grand for it, and the business is happy, the investor's happy, everyone's happy, and the logo designer gets paid as well. But then you take that brand, and you try and the best way to do it, if you want it as a brand on your BMW or whatever, yeah, you go to DVLA first, find the number plate first, then find the brandable domain. So you've got the number plate. So when you make the brand a success, you already have the brandable domain as your perfectly spelt word as your number plate on your vehicle, which means when you become successful on your roller, if it gets that successful, you've already bought the plate. That way it's cheaper. You pay about 500 quid, a grand. You pay about £1,000 for your plate, £1,500 for your plate, and about 2 grand, 3 grand for your website, 4 or 5 grand. And you've got your website address or your website brand, your brand name as your number plate perfectly spelt. And the only way you can do this is if you have the I as a second letter in your brand. So you have a consonant at the front, a vowel, which would be the 1, which is also an I in number plate speak, if you go that way, if you're into number plates. And then you have like a consonant, which you've got a strong consonant at the front, you've got a vowel, which is an I, you've got a strong consonant as a third letter, and then you've probably got a consonant and a vowel, or a vowel and a consonant. So it's a consonant, vowel, consonant, consonant, vowel, C, V, C, C, A. So C, V, C, C, V combination of a 5-letter brandable.com as your number plate, or you have a C, V, C, another car. How unusual. I was trying to make a vlog. So you have a C, V, C, V, C as your brandable. You've got 3 strong consonants and 2 vowels either side of a strong consonant, which gives you a bit of a good strong brand. But they're expensive. 4-letter.coms, brandable, which you can get, they're expensive. 3-letter.coms, you won't get 3-letter.coms you won't get them a 3-letter.com for less than about £12,000 sterling, £15,000. They're getting for 20,000. You can pay 100,000, whatever you want. 2-letter.coms, you're going to be paying $500,000 as a bare minimum almost, and they can go into the millions. They've already stored, they're already sat on by investors. Last count, 2-letter.coms, approximately, roughly, a quarter of all 2-letter.coms now are in Chinese investors' hands, or Chinese hands, which means the chances of you buying a 2-letter.com, if you've got $500,000 plus sterling, you'd be probably buying from a Chinese investor, more than likely. But it is your brand is what you make it, what your idea, it's what you make of it. A brand is what you make of it. What your effort and determination to make a brand what you want it to be. But to do it, it looks better on a 5-letter.com, 4 or 5-letter, probably a 6-letter.com. But if you look at if you've played the fruit machines, you'll know, and if you haven't, don't bother, because it is a waste of money. I know from personal experience. But you got 4 bells. 4 bells is like gold. Just think of a fruit machine, a 5-letter fruit machine, or think of the DVLA website. On the prefix search, click on the DVLA registrations, click on prefix search, not current style, click on prefix, which will give you a consonant, the 1, which you need the 1, and you can choose your consonants after that. But you can only have 4 consonants in a 5-letter if you want it as a brand on your number plate. If you type the 1 and spin, it's like holding the 4 bells. It's like holding a bell when you got a couple of cherries and whatever else, or whatever they used to be in a bar or whatever. Hold the second number in, hold the number, which would make it, put it on a 1, and press hold, and then press search, which means you're spinning effectively reels in the DVLA website, and you'll get over 1,000 searches, 500 searches, whatever it is, yeah, and you'll get all the combinations. Then when you've got your 1, which is what you want, which looks nice and neat, then pick a letter, a consonant letter at the front of the, then you've got 2 letters of a brand. So you haven't got a clue about your brand. You don't even know what the brand's going to be. It's just a complete guess. So you've got a letter, consonant. So you choose a letter that you want your brand to start with, whatever you want. Yeah. So you've now got the letter that you want your brand to start with. You've got the one that you have to have, which is your I. So you've got a letter, a consonant letter. So a consonant letter and a 1, which gives you the first 2 letters of your brand. Then you've got 3, which you'll probably want a consonant for the 3rd. So you've got the first letter of your brand that you've already got, that you've chosen yourself. The one that you didn't choose because you had to choose the 1. Then you'll choose a 3rd letter. And then you'll have 3 letters of a 5-letter brand. You'll have a consonant, a vowel, or you'll have the consonant, the 1, which will be a vowel, which is the I. Battery's running. Oh, lovely. And then the 3rd letter, which should be a consonant, which will give you some idea of where your brand is going. So you'll have something, I don't know. It could be IT, it could be IN, it could be ID, it could be either ICK, it could be, but you've got the first letter, what you chose. Then by picking the first 3, the first letter that you've got, you've chosen, which is the one you've chosen. I don't know what it is, whatever one you choose. The one that you didn't choose, that you had to have. The second consonant, which is the 3rd letter that you've chose. So then you hold that. So you've now got 3 letters. Then you've only got 2 letters. Then press the search button again on the DVLA website, and then spin that. So you've then got the option of the 2 remaining letters of your brand. Then all you do is scroll down. So you've got the first 3 that you've chose, and then the 2. And then all you do is just find 2 letters on the end that work well together, that will also work well with the 3 letters that you've already got, and then that gives you your brand effectively. So you haven't chosen your brand. The last two letters of your brand, the first 2 letters, letter 1 and letter 3 you chose. Letter 2 you didn't choose, but you got, which gives you an I. And then the last 2 is spinning. Like on a fruit machine, you'd spin the wheels. Yeah, you'd hold the first 3 and spin the 2, which will give you 2 letters that you like. And then you just go through and think, yeah, that looks nice and whatever, yeah, and you've got a brand. And then you actually get the brand that you want. Then you've got to find that in somewhere like GoDaddy. Then you click into GoDaddy search. Then you find the GoDaddy search. Then you type in the letters. Use the one that you didn't choose in your brand. So you've now got 5 letters in your brand in the DVLA website, which gives you your 5-letter brand. Type in to GoDaddy the consonant that you chose. Do not type in the 1, type in the letter. So then you got a consonant, a vowel, a consonant, and the 2 letters that you eventually chose that you spun to give you the 5-letter brand. That gives you your 5-letter brand. So you choose those letters. So you type those 5 letters into GoDaddy search and replace the 1 with an I in the GoDaddy search. Then press search. And if it's available in .com, it's bingo. If it's not, it's tough. You have to go back and do the whole process again. But if you've got it and it's available and it's for reg fee, you then buy it for 15 quid. Which means, and you'd have to buy your plate from the DVLA, which costs you about 1,500 quid, something like that. Yeah? You could get it probably at 250 if you're lucky, 500 quid if you're lucky. But it might cost you more than that. It might cost you 1,500 quid. But, so for 1,500 quid, plus your 15 quid if you get your brand for nothing. And even if you get it for that, if you can find it for a couple of grand go on Brand Bucket, you're going to pay about 3.5 grand for a brand. If you know what you're doing with your brand and how to make a brand from nothing, you'll have your brand as your number plate on your car. So everywhere you go with your car, you're advertising your brand. And if you've got your website, which would be your brand, your 5-letter brand.com, which you bought 15 quid if you're lucky, and your 1,500 quid or whatever, or less if you go it for less, as your plate. But you'd have your website address, your 5-letter brand underneath your number plate, which would give you your website address underneath your website, underneath your number plate, and your number plate, which would be the same as your website address, which would give you free advertising wherever you go. So if you're in traffic lights, people see your website address, they click on your website address, see your number plate matches the same, you'll get business wherever you go. Which means you're free advertising your business or your brand everywhere you go, and it costs you about 3 grand. Very, very quickly, you'd soon make that money back up from sales, products, or whatever you're selling. And that's how you do it. But you do your number plate first, 1,500 quid. Then you find your brand in GoDaddy or domain name registrar, whichever one you use. And then you get a website designed, right? That's your cost. But it's not that expensive. If you do it right, your number plate costs you 500 quid. And your domain name costs you 15 quid for a couple of years, and then you extend it as and when each year. If you don't extend it, you lose it anyway, so you have to extend it. You have to renew it every year, and that gives you your brand. That's why when you see these smart motors and rollers, whatever, and they've got the brand, that's how they do it. They do the number plate first, then the website address, and then they make that a brand. And when it's successful, it looks the nuts. But it's hard to do if you choose your name first, then make your business successful, then then go back when you've got the money from having a successful business to go and then to try and find out to see if your brand is a number plate, which it probably isn't always. And you can think of famous brands that you can't get, that are very, very famous, and they've got millions and billions, but they can't get the number plate of the brand, which means that when they go to in the Rolls Royce or whatever, they can't have, or the Ferrari, they can't have the name of the brand, their successful brand, as their website, as their number plate, because they've done it the wrong way around. You do it back to front first, then you make the brand a success, which means it all works out perfect. That's how you do it. Just a bit. If you want to ask a bit of questions about the brand, whatever, yeah, I'll go through it with you. But it's easy to do. It's for me, it takes me about, I can go from nothing, from an empty search in DVLA prefix, from 5 Ennies, which is the boxes you